On Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool legacy, I had the chance to speak with football commentator Juan Arango. Listen to what he had to say.
Very, how should I say, sublime moment for Liverpool history to see how they were able to say goodbye to Jurgen Klopp. A very interesting moment as well, but also, like you guys said, a very long-lasting legacy that has been quite interesting to really analyze if you start looking at everything since 2015, 2016.
Yeah, Juan, talk a bit about Jurgen Klopp's leadership style, that fist pumping, the way he just got everyone to embrace him, and he is leaving with a lot of hardware and the respect of Liverpool.
Yeah, you know what? It's not always about Jurgen. It really never was always about Jurgen. Jurgen was always the type of coach that everyone had a role, everyone had something to do with the success of the club. So that ends up being very important in terms of everyone from the equipment manager to the people that were in concessions, to everyone that he saw going into the stadium. Everyone had their role in the success of the club because everyone had to do something in order for the actual focus to be on the football. That's basically how you have to look at it, because he gave everyone a sense of importance. Even the fans themselves, he understood the ambiance at Anfield. Even he had said it back in 2019 when he said that match against Barcelona in the Champions League semifinals and the ambiance that was there at Anfield, he really helped. He said he basically was helped out by the fans as well.
Yeah, indeed. Talk about his legacy. Do you think anyone saw this when he arrived in Liverpool back in 2015?
They were hoping for something. You know what? I think it's not just what they were expecting. It's what they wanted to get out of and what they ended up getting into that ended up being so important in terms of the overall history of Liverpool. I mean, if you go back to that 2 seasons before, it was just a Steven Gerrard slip away from being able to fight for the title. And then a team that ends up being mired in mediocrity despite having won the European Championship years before. But it's a team that really didn't have an identity, was kind of mired in mediocrity, as I said before. And Jurgen Klopp comes in and gives a team a different look, a different culture, a different mentality, and not only that, a different intensity. It does take a couple of seasons for him to fully consolidate his idea. But at the end of the day, you see a Jurgen Klopp. I mean, it takes until 2019 to win the Champions League. Right. It takes until 2020 to win the Premier League for the first time in over 3 decades. So it's the consolidation of an ideal in addition to everything else that has happened. And it's also the idea and the mentality of the Liverpool fan believing that year in and year out, they're able to contribute and be able to compete.
Juan, I'd love the quotes from the fans said, you know, he got us to believe. And then exactly. your statement that this was a club that was mired in mediocrity before he came. And most managers really don't stay on longer than a couple of years. What made it so Klopp could stay on so long, stay so popular, and be so effective?
Well, his ideas. First of all, his ideas as a football coach, but also his empathy towards people. I mean, there were a lot of times, I mean, we've gone through a lot since in terms of a society, in terms of what has gone on both in the UK, in Europe, and of course across the pond in the United States. And he has had a voice of empathy as well. So it's not just only the football side that people fell in love with. It's the humane and the humanity that Jurgen Klopp has also been able to express throughout, and how certain social issues have gone and how he's seen them, and how certain, even COVID, how it was handled, how he was able to express himself so eloquently as well.